Well, once again, this time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
Good morning. How is everybody this morning out there? All our followers of the Southern Fried Podcast and everybody out there in Cornbread Nation. It's Friday. You made it. What you think, Dave?
I like it. I've been looking for this day more than usual because it's just been a grinding week. It's been good, but worked some weird hours, and I'm glad to be here. And I think just the grind of also these storms and stuff have really weared on me. Worried about family and everybody else and the ongoing situations. But we're Friday, got the first cup of coffee. Life is good. I'm happy to be here. Southern Fried Podcast. I want to thank all those followers that reach out to us. I run into them all the time. They thank us for the programming, and they like what we do. And it's nice to be validated that way, that we do something for somebody besides, I don't know, being two crazy guys. It's nice to know we do something that somebody finds interesting. So
yeah, two crazy guys and one good looking one. Y'all are welcome.
Yeah. Oh, is that when Cook comes on?
No. Y'all know I'm the clickbait. You had to put somebody on here.
Oh man. Yeah, we'll move on.
Oh, come on. That's like, it's Friday. You got to be nice on Friday.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
You're not trying hard.
No, well, maybe not real hard. Michael, I love it. I love it. He deserves the stage for that. It was funny. Years ago, they were middle class, they were proclaiming they came from, the rough side of the tracks. Now they just come out and say, I'm from a middle class family. I don't really know what struggle is, but I'm an expert on your life.
I saw a meme the other day that just absolutely cracked me up. It said, "This is what I hear every time I hear I came from a middle class family," and it had Steve Martin from The Jerk on there going, "I was born a poor black child."
Yeah. Everybody tries to identify as something to get, some vote or someone on their side. Say, I understand you and your situation. And there's a great scene on All in the Family where Meathead is, he's this radical college guy who's always protesting, and and then Lionel, who's the African American, and they're best friends.
Yeah.
And they're playing that game, and the game it's truth or dare or something but there's a place where you have to stand back to back with somebody and tell something that, that bothers you or something. So he gets back to back with Mike, and he's saying, Mike, you're always an expert on, the plot, the what we're going through as a race and a people and all that. He said, but that's great. But he said, why can't you just talk to me about everyday things like sometimes? He said, well, like what? He said, like the weather. He said, you don't think we don't pay attention to the weather? We have good days of weather, bad days of weather. He said, all you want to talk about is this problem. And he gets offended at it, and he says, and he won't even push against him very hard. And it's a great scene because it really does show. That's the way I feel like some of these politicians do. They're experts, and every time they come on there, it's always doom and gloom, is it not?
It is.
It's always doom and gloom. I told you I went to this chamber luncheon yesterday for first responders here in the county I live in. And one of the young men that sat at my table is from England. And, I thought here's a guy. He's made it. He was a minority. He very well spoken and played soccer all over the world. Highly successful, working for a company here. Went to school here in our area. Met his future wife. They got married, and they're just living life and loving it and everything. And he was all about talking about opportunities in America and how great it is to be in America. He said, I'm homesick. I won't lie. I miss my family and stuff. But he said, it's great to be here. He had nothing negative to say whatsoever. But every time a politician gets on the air, Rob, it's always doom and gloom. The world is falling, but they're the ones creating it.
Yeah.
If there is doom and gloom, they're creating it.
Yeah. And they call me and they say, oh, you vote for Trump, or if you vote for them, then you're a racist. That's not true. That's an out and out lie. But they hammer that and hammer that and hammer that. Oh, if you don't agree with our policies, you ain't black. Who said that?
Oh yeah, we
That
know
was
who.
Biden. Well, no, I'm not black and I don't agree with your policies.
Did he tell Corn Pop that? I wonder if he told Corn Pop that. He was always telling his
Probably.
little story about Corn Pop. Good morning, Brother Cook.
Good morning, Cookster. What are you doing, Cook?
Cook told me his sleep patterns was all messed up. We talked the other day, and that's rough when you get messed up. You're up at the wrong times, sleep the times you should be awake. I've been there before. I've been trying to avoid that this week. It's been a little bit of a challenge because my sleep patterns got messed up. Usually when you have your first child, your sleep patterns are messed up. I mean, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock feedings and all that stuff. I mean, they get messed up.
There is no sweeter sound in the world than when your firstborn sleeps through the night. The first one.
It's like, we got to sleep all night. I feel good. I didn't know what it was to feel normal again.
Yeah. You sleep like you did in the summer of 63.
Of course, I know there's probably some ladies out there that are listening and going, oh, come on, man. You dudes, y'all just slept through. It was us moms that got up and did all that.
Mike, I'm going to throw this out. I don't sleep like you did in the summer of 63. I wasn't even around in the summer of 63. I wasn't even, golly, you're a lot older than I am. My goodness. Your first year was in 63. You're even older than Dave, I think.
Yeah, he's a little older than me.
And that's
I was born it's not like a song. I was born in the summer of 65.
Y'all are both way older than I am. I was born in what, 90?
90, come on. 1890.
Oh, that's not nice. That's harsh.
Hey, I got a good one for you, Rob. I was just thinking of it. Now, I don't believe in reincarnation at all, okay? But just for the sake of laughter, if we did believe in reincarnation, what would you have reincarnated from? What would be your previous life? What would you think it would be? I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to tell you that, but what do you think it would be? Knowing who you are, what would it have been your previous life?
I'm going to have to say a little short, fat, wired-haired terrier.
I was thinking you'd be like this Irish blacksmith or something in some.
Oh, you mean like a person? I thought you was talking about an animal.
No, not animal. We could go there, but I just mean as a Gulliver. I was just thinking, what would be your profession, and not that you'd be a girl or something, just you're a guy. And I just see you as this Irish blacksmith in some town, banging away on making some horseshoes and stuff for the cavalry or something. That's what I see you being.
No, I see myself being the doctor/vet in some western town, like in what was Support Your Local Gunfighter?
Oh yeah.
I see me being that guy.
67 for Cook.
Yeah.
We are brothers in Christ, but we're like brothers here, 63, 65, 67.
What's that? You think I'd be like Gulliver? Oh, come on. Cook. That's not nice. Although Gulliver is pretty cool. He, his grasp of the English language is amazing. Spelled bomb is spelled B-O-M-B, bomb. Now, how do you spell comb? See, is it coom? No, it's comb.
Cook probably believes that if he did believe in reincarnation, he believes he was probably an offensive lineman on Newt Rockney's, great teams or whatever. That's probably what he would have figured he was, pulling out the pulling guard to go block, running down the field with a leather helmet on. I like it. I like it, Michael.
Josie Well. Michael, have you seen the movie Up? I can see you being the old guy on the movie Up. And maybe Dave being the little Boy Scout kid that you're trying to beat off your house. Have you seen it, Dave?
No, I don't think so.
It's a cartoon movie, and the end of it is just a tear jerker and all this other stuff. And it's not as much fun, but the beginning of it is hilarious. I mean, oh my gosh. I laughed. The very beginning of it's just sad. I don't recommend watching the very beginning of it. I remember watch it from where the house takes off.
By the way, I think I saw on Pluto TV this weekend they're doing the Godfather trilogy. I will have to watch some. I can't go without. When it's on, I'm gravitated. I don't know why. I just love the Godfather. But I saw that. Hey, the Yankees move on. So the Phillies go down. I love that. Don't like the Mets, but the Phillies do go down. And San Francisco got on the winning ways last night against Seattle. That was a highly entertaining game. I didn't get to watch all of it or anything, but a lot of explosive plays. San Francisco needed to win bad. I said for this weekend, they really had to win. They really, because of injuries, got kind of started rough. Can the Falcons continue their winning ways this weekend against the lowly Panthers? Don't overlook them, but they're pretty bad. I think the Falcons should pull this weekend. They should go. It's looking good, boys. I like it.
Who's Georgia play this weekend?
Weather is actually looking good. What is that? Mississippi? Is that right?
Is it the State? Is it the other Bulldogs?
State. It's not the good one. It's the bad one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Mississippi State, right? Or is it the other one? I have to look that up. I just know it's Mississippi. Yosemite Sam.
I can see me being Foghorn Leghorn.
When I growed my beard out, my dad was never a fan of me growing my beard out. And when I grow it out, because of my Irish background, it would have this red tint to it. And I'll never forget the first time he was trying to give me a hard time, and he said, "How you doing, Yosemite Sam?" And I was like, "Oh, come on." Yeah. And I did grow it out during the winter. Sometimes it felt good, that nice warmth on them cold mornings. But everybody would call me. I'd have nicknames, man, because of the red tint of my beard. So
yeah, I
haven't grew it out in years though. They can't be repeated on air. To be perfectly honest.
Oh, I've had some nicknames like that.
Well, you know how, Rob, we come from manufacturing. So we were talking about this the other day at work, actually, about all the nicknames. And my HR manager was telling me that he used to work with, or they grew up with a guy, he went to school with him, and everybody called him Fish. And, you think, I can see you having a nickname like that, Fish, you fish like, but it had nothing to do with fishing. So this guy his family had immigrated to America. He didn't know any English. And he said, in their school, they had different lines you could go through. And one would be this kind of food, one would be, but they had basically a seafood line. And so the only word the kid knew was fish. When he first got to school, he knew fish. And so that was his way. Everybody started calling him Fish. And they thought that he loved fish, because they would put him in that line every day. But they'd say, which one do you want to, eat? They'd point at, and he'd go, fish. That's all he knew. So his nickname became Fish.
You behave. Leave her alone.
Later year,
Cat.
getting on the cats.
Okay. I thought he had her backed up in the corner. Jenny said they're playing. That's okay. You like to clean a pathway. We got 2 male cats, 2 female cats, and male cats are always picking on the females. Ugh. Pack them up in a corner, won't let them out, stuff like that. It's not very nice.
That's what I feel like is they're trying to do to us in America, back us in a corner, man.
Yeah.
And the American voters are fixing to vote about that.
Yeah, and I'm happy. I'm glad it's here, and I hope this country wakes up. I hope everybody gets out and votes. Everybody. Yes. I would love to see everybody get out there and vote. And vote what's in your heart. I don't care who you vote for. Just get out there and vote. Don't listen to none of the propaganda that either side is putting out. Oh, we've got this wrapped up. Don't believe it. Because that's how they get people to sit home. Oh, that's already wrapped up. It's already been decided. I'm not even going to get out there. So.
Yeah. Just a couple of news and notes, and I've shared a little bit off air with you, but I did go to my manager training last night. Now, this is in the great state of Georgia, Every state has election things that get adjusted, laws change, whatever. So this was put forth a couple of changes, and there'll be another one into next year. So the 3 things this year, or the 2 things this year, one next year. One thing is that all the paper will have a watermark where you can hold it up to the ballot we printed on. That's how you know it's an official ballot, because people think, well, you can just copy those off. People could put them on a copier and copy them. Well, it has a watermark. They showed us that last night. And by the way, they took all those paper back up. We didn't get one to take home. They're protected. They're sealed away, locked away, but they did let us see one. We didn't even touch them. They just held it up and said, see. Well, maybe a couple of managers did, but they just let us see that. So that's the first thing that they've done. Also, we already knew about the counting of ballots, and I heard a lot more about that, what that's going to look like during early voting. So every day they're going to count those ballots. They went into detail, which I'm not going to go into the detail of it. But when Rebecca was on here, by the way, Rebecca was who was on here was doing our training, and she said. Or they said that they will be sealed, transported, transferred, official documents, transferring them. This is for the ballots, and the paper will be sealed as well, at the end. But they will transport these back under law enforcement escort. So that'll be going on. Our county's not that big. It will be that. They did say if it was a big county like Fulton or somewhere where they have so many more voters, it will take them longer than us. So they did say for them it is. For us, it's not that big a deal. And our county used to do that every day or twice a week, but not every day. Then in 2025, the QR code on the ballot will go away. Won't be a QR code there. So 3 main things. So there's also some additional, which I'm not going to discuss details because I don't think I should, but they're going to have increased security at every precinct in our county. I love that. Because you just never know, Rob. You just never know.
No, you never do. My goodness. It's speaking of the politics and stuff. You never know what's going to happen, and what a place that would be a way to scare people off from voting. To have something similar to a school shooting at a voting precinct. That would
it'd be horrible. And I appreciate that. Does mean a lot to I know the people in the room, the other managers they all concurred that was a good thing and they were glad to hear it. And they all said basically the same thing. We don't expect it, but nowadays you never know. So it's good to know we're going to have extra security, more than we've had in the past. Again, I don't think I should go into details, because you just never know who could be listening. But Not that I know all the details, because they wouldn't even tell us everything, but
Yeah.
I don't need to know. I just know that there's going to be extra security. I'm happy about that. And I hope that that's throughout the state. I can only speak for my county, but in our county, there's going to be that. So I hope that's statewide. And I would say that it probably is. They are anticipating, Rob. This is a good sign. They are anticipating a lot of people. Early voting and election day. They don't think we're going to have much time to chit chat. It's going to be full on all day. They expect a lot of people. Again, I think they're just reading the tea leaves of what they're hearing. But I will say there is a rumor that's going out there, and this is, I don't even know if I should say it, but that there's these bozos who want to get an absentee ballot and then turn that back over and then vote on election day. They're afraid that there's going to be some disaster and they're not going to get to vote, and they'll have the mail-in that they could do. So anyway, because you can't get those. But they said we may do a few more. They surrender that. I'm trying to say surrender the absentee ballots, a legal surrender back over of that, and to the county, and then they would just vote on the machine. So anyway, we'll see. I hope everything goes smooth. I think we're ready. I appreciate all the leaders that have gotten us ready to this point. And will see us through. They're a great bunch of folks. And Rebecca was on with us is just great. And I think, Rob, probably we should pull that interview and repost that probably maybe first of the week as we go into early voting. I think that would be good to do. Some people probably missed it, and it'd be good for those in Georgia anyway to hear some of the things she had to say. So Sunday, we're finally going to do our interview with Mitchell Horner, 3rd Rep, District 3, or 3rd District State Rep, Mitchell Horner. We're going to have an interview, and we'll release that as soon as it's over. And we've got an interview with a pastor coming up, Rob. That's cool.
Yeah. We've tentatively scheduled it for Tuesday. I don't know. This church is very active. It's the church Baptist Church in Weehawken. And I don't know if they're down there helping the people from the storm or what, because they're down there a little closer to them than we are. But he said that we've got it tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, the interview, and then we'll get it up as soon as we can.
Awesome. That sounds like a name you could build a song to. Weehawken.
Yeah, I just love saying the name Weehawken.
We're from Weehawken.
There is something else I do want to talk about this morning, and I find this to be hilarious. Miss Kamala, decided to call DeSantis before the hurricane hit. And I don't know if you didn't know or if you didn't take the call. I don't even want to get into that, because whether he knew she called and didn't take the call, that was funny. Because he'd already been in contact with the president. Why does he need to talk to the vice president too? It's not like he's not doing anything. He's trying to get ready for a stupid hurricane that's coming in again and getting everything set up. She's never contacted him before.
Exactly.
And then she turns it around to where he's playing politics. And he's like, I don't have time for you. Go away. I'm talking to the people I need to talk to. Go away. You're not important right now. And
when someone
was just hilarious.
When someone has not cared up to this point, why take the call?
Yeah.
I get some people say, well, if she wins, you don't want to get off on a bad foot, but he knows what that is. He knows what's going on. And honestly, if he's already talked to the president, that's that call. Come on.
And what's she going to do?
Yeah. She's going to go down and build a border wall to keep the storm out.
That's right. Set up some big fans, blow that thing back away.
it would have been gold if we could have got her to describe hurricanes. You know how she always described buses and countries and stuff. A hurricane is a lot of wind that blows across the water.
Yeah. Well, I'm from a middle class family. And we didn't have things like this when I was growing up. We couldn't afford them. You know, any wind that we had it came from our mouths, as it will do. And that's where I'm at today. And I didn't have 46, or I didn't have 6 bankruptcies.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lord help us. Lord help us if that is the administration next and we are in a disaster. Oh my gosh.
And I'm sorry, there was another one. This word salad answer that 60 Minutes put up that they were going to air, they changed it. Did you see that?
I didn't know they changed it, but I've been seeing a lot of, watched a lot of that.
It was like this big, ugly, rambling word salad pause here, think there. You could see the smoke coming out of her ears as she was trying to figure out how to answer this question, stumbling over. So it was horrible. But and that was the preview that they put out. It was on a preview. So people had seen this answer. And then when it aired, it was something completely different. She actually spoke somewhat coherently. And they're trying to pass that off as the interview. And ain't nobody buying it, and they're already calling for investigations and everything else. Now, it was a straight out lie, basically, from CBS because, they went through and changed her answer.
If I had the talent, and I don't, to be a ventriloquist, it would be great to have like her, as the dummy and and the dude. There's a couple of guys that do that they do politics with that. They're great. I can just imagine that would be the only good thing about her being president. I think myself is the comedy gold that it's going to be. The comedy gold that it's going to be.
Yeah, we're going to be that to the whole world.
I'll say this, and people can disagree with me if they want. You have to think how. It's hard. You have to think how sometimes liberals think, and it's really hard. But there are a lot of liberals that don't like her. They're playing the nice game right now. But secretly, I think there's probably a lot of them that would love to see her lose and for President Trump to win for 2 reasons. Number one, the chaos of it, and the money they can make off of it in really promoting the candidate that they want the next time. They would spend that 4 years and say, look at the disaster. Look what's happened to us. They want that. They want that chaos because they can make money off of chaos. If they win, they don't make as much money. I mean, if President Trump wins, every media out there will make money because what he does is news. People don't want to watch her. They don't like watching her. The news, the news cycles will go down other than just to see her word salads. People will not watch her. They will not watch her. The ratings will be horrible. Secretly, for their own, bottom line and profit margin, they probably want him to win because every media likes chaos because they can make money off of it. Think about it. When does the Weather Channel make the most money?
During a hurricane.
During a hurricane, a storm, a natural disaster. Their ratings go down. They have to when there's not anything going on and the weather's good. When they see a storm coming, they're probably going, yes, we've got another one coming. Let's get our clothes on and get down into Florida or wherever. Yeah. They love it. They go into high gear. Well, if she wins, I mean, the only thing they can do is just paint, everything that goes on. They'll just paint everybody up as racist and they hate her. But if he wins, they can play off of that much better. Yeah. I just think that it's the old good cop, bad cop. It's like prosecutor and defense attorney shaking hands and going to lunch after the case. They're all looking at how they can make money. They play both sides of the road. They do. Absolutely, they do.
And another thing that's funny, I saw where Obama was speaking for Kamala. He's talking to the brothers out there. Said if they didn't vote for her, they were sexist.
Yeah. By the way, Michael, on that note, I make a prediction. I think Jill Biden is hot as anybody under the collar. She's mad. You don't see her out as much. I think once all this is over, sometime at a point in the future, she's going to go scorched earth on some people. I predict it.
That'd
She
be
will go
awesome.
scorched earth. I think she'll write a book. She'll go on a tour, and she's mad. She's got stuff to say. I believe it. I think she's going to burn people down. They
Mm.
they have messed in her Wheaties, and I think she will go scorched earth. I do. I
They've got
predict.
her. They're painting her as married to this senile old whatever that can't
Oh
run the
yeah,
country, and
they can't say
I'm
nothing
sure.
right now. Wait till it's over. Wait till there's nothing else to be gained or lost. Watch her go scorched earth. I'm telling you,
Ain't no scorn.
she's mad. She's
Yeah.
madder than Joe.
And Joe's
That-
mad too.
You're absolutely right, Michael. They're keeping her quiet right now. I mean, have you seen her much?
Mm.
She was out front a lot. They're
Yeah.
keeping her
Don't-
off the scene.
You don't even see Joe much anymore. I mean,
No.
don't get me wrong, Joe's still on the scene. He's like, he was on the scene for the hurricane. I'll give him credit for that. He was in touch with the people he needed to be in touch with. That went ahead and declared Florida a disaster area. I mean, he was doing what he needed to do. And DeSantis said anything he asked from the feds, he got.
Remember, there was never any love between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They can't stand each other. Let's be clear about that. Politics has strange bedfellows, as they say. It was convenient for them to have her on the ticket. They probably didn't want her. They were probably told you need her by the power people behind them. They never liked each other. They never will like each other. And she is looking to get back at her. I'm telling you, it'll happen. I believe it.
Michael, I don't think you'll see that happen.
No, I think that he's saying, was she going to try to be that? I'm not so sure you're not wrong. I think all of it got shot down because there was talk about her. You know, people even thought she might step in for him if he couldn't, run in his place. That's happened before in politics a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think that would have happened. It may have.
Nope.
It may
But
have.
in her head,
In
would
her
she
head,
have?
yeah.
Okay, would she? And that's probably true that she wanted to try to do that. She loved that scene. She loved that power. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
after all, her name was on documents too.
that's true.
And why?
Yeah. But there's so much going on right now in the news, and people aren't that's distracting. You got this going on over here. You got the hurricanes going on in Florida. You got CBS just throwing up anything they want for an interview and going back and changing the answer, giving them the opportunity to change the answer or whatever, that should have just aired straight. You got people trying to be in power who are not in power, like Kamala right now. She's not been elected president. DeSantis is in touch with the president. Why is she even trying to step in? You got the mishandling of, to me personally, of Joe Biden when he won the primary. Kamala hadn't had a vote cast for her yet, but she's running for president, not Joe Biden. You got them just stepped all over him and Jill and Biden and everything else. It's going to be funny. There's a lot of distractions going on, and it's taking away from the actual issues in the country
Yeah.
and who can fix them.
Well, and they want that because they know they don't have any good things to say. I read a report late last night that they have the Obamas are trying to come in and rescue her a little bit because apparently numbers are not looking the way they want them. They're worried. So that's a rumor. But I was going to say that Good Life, Michael. Every and it's addictive. Every administration you get pampered. To be the president, there is nothing you have to do for yourself. They'll even dress you. You got staff for everything. Every schedule is made for you. All the plans, everything is done for you. And one of the things that's real eye-opening, and I've read books from people that were president and the administration, once you leave that, you still get Secret Service protection, but you lose all of that other stuff. And so you have to hire that to be done or do it yourself. So for the first time in 4 years or maybe 8 years, You may have to drive a car. You got to plan, you got to book your travel plans and all that. All that's done for you as president. When you leave, people think that leaves too. All that's gone. And so you have to hire administrative assistants and if and they do that, but it's not the same. And they are addicted to that. They really are addicted to you get spoiled to it. I mean, nobody wants to lose that.
I like that. That's also, I think, kind of true.
Well, there was a time when it was probably true, but when the fakeness, when it didn't, there was no advancement.
Yeah.
There was no reach down and help and none of that. It was a lot of them turned. A lot of turned against him. But it's sick. I do find it interesting. I think on both sides of the aisle, I find it interesting the power play in between different powerful people, families. So there certainly is that same thing on the Republican side. I think it gets just as down and dirty. There are people on the right who don't like each other, especially with President Trump. There's been those that don't care for each. I mean, DeSantis and him have had their differences. Kemp from Georgia, there are that, and someday there'll be books written about all of that. There's a lot that's under the water right now, but it'll come clear later on, and there's books being written right now. By the way, there is a book coming out that, Rob, I think if you're a fan of music, I think will be a really good book if you're a guitar player or love guitar. But Alex Van Halen of the Van Halen brothers, his book is coming out. He has spent all this time after his brother died grieving and putting his thoughts into a book. There's an excerpt of it that is released right now. It comes out October 22nd. I think this is probably a must-have book just because of that dynamic between the brothers. And I'll say this for Alex, he has not went on anything. He has stayed real private this whole time. Yeah. And he also did an audio version of this in his voice reading this book. And a lot of people want to know what Alex thinks on a lot of things that happened throughout the history, through the Dave years, the Sammy years. But the book it's called Brothers, I think, if I remember right. But the book I don't know how much it'll touch on any of that or if it does at all. But he says everybody thinks they knew my brother. He said, but nobody knew my brother like me. He was my brother from earliest of ages and growing up and the things I went through. This is going to be an interesting look of him looking into their life together and that bond that they had. I'm a big fan of brothers, sisters, siblings, and that fathers, sons, mothers, all that, because you grow up in a household together and everybody thinks they know you, but really the only one that really knows you besides God is that family that you grew up with so close. And especially since he hasn't talked at all. He's had nothing to say at all. He's rejected every interview. He won't talk. And they say he grieved really hard. And he says in this book, you're not supposed to die before your little brother, or your little brother's not supposed to die before you. He said, it wasn't supposed to happen this way. I should have went first. He struggled with this. This is his way to grieve. And I think if you're a fan of any of that, I think that is going to be a book to read. I really do. Whether you like music or not, I think it's a neat look. I read some of that early this morning, and that audio portion is released of him reading it. I think this is going to be a bestseller.
Okay. That's nice. I like to see stuff like that out there, and it's good to see it. So, sorry, I got distracted there.
Yes, they were. They were Dutch. This book is going to have humor too. They talked. Eddie would talk a little bit about it. That them some of the interplay when they grew up. At first, Alex was on guitar. That's where they started out. He talks about that in the book too. You took my guitar, but he talks about how And even on that, he said he never liked being called the greatest guitarist. He just didn't like that. He said that implies there's many others like him. He said he was unique, totally different. There's nobody like him. He said it just flowed through him. He said it came through him. He said he would change notes and he didn't even know he said it would just flowed. He didn't have to think about it. It just happened. I just think it's pretty cool.
And I don't remember who it was. And this is a little bit of a subject change, but I need to address this. One of our crew on the night side thing that was on here the other night, I don't remember which one of y'all it was that said I was fat, but I want y'all to know they still trapped my honey, calling me fat on here. What in the world? Did you see that?
That was one of our nighttime chatters that's been coming in of late.
He called me fat.
I can't remember. It was Cold or Sig Steve. I can't remember, but
I think it was Cold.
Hey,
I just want you to know.
Hey, they're rough in the chat.
Huh?
I said they can get rough.
I've been writing a book for you. Don't you worry about it. Calling me fat. Did address it then. I said I'm fat and you're ugly and I can diet.
Oh man.
I've been writing.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard, Michael. He was. Well, nobody really, it's not the invention of, it's just how it flows.
Yeah.
I mean, all the notes there's really nothing invented. All the notes are there. But everybody has, if I picked up a guitar and Rob picked up a guitar and Michael picked up a guitar and we played the exact same note and we switched guitars 3 different times, it would sound different whoever was holding that because it's going to sound the way you play it. You can't. Eddie Van Halen could not play but the way Eddie Van Halen plays. Nobody can play the way Eddie Van Halen played exactly because it's in him. And so you're not really, what you're inventing is you, the way you play it. And so it's all there. I don't know that people give probably way too much credit for the early guys but it's how it flows through you. Somebody could play the notes that B.B. King or anybody played, but they can't play them like them because that music flows through their fingers and the way they hold the guitar. And I listened to a guitarist say this. A lot of guitarists, they change guitars, they change all this stuff and action and all that, trying to sound like somebody else, but they never change. It sounds exactly like them. Eddie couldn't help but to sound like the way Eddie played, but nobody can match that. So in that, he did invent the Eddie way. He invented the Eddie sound, and nobody can play the Eddie sound. The greatest guitarist out there, as we will use that word greatest, they will say that I can't do what he did. I can do things similar, but nobody can play that. Same with Jimmy Page or whoever. Yeah. You can't recreate exactly. All you can do is mimic the notes, but you can't play the soul and the energy that comes through of playing the instrument. That's unique to them. So the invention part is not really invented. It's just that person flowing through and how they play the music. And it just doesn't sound the same if somebody else does it. Even if they're trying to be, AI could not recreate Eddie Van Halen. It's still not going to be exactly him because AI could not even know how Eddie flowed from inside, from his soul, and even Eddie couldn't put that into words. It's just how it is. So in that way, yeah. Thank you, Michael, for trying to keep it civil. And we have timed out a couple. If they go, we make it clear if you go over the line, sorry, we're going to time you out for a little while. And they've came back. They've took it well. I don't even know if they realized they were timed out, but now I have banned a couple. They were the people that were coming in pretending to be Kamala supporters and talking ugly. I let them have their say for 30 minutes. Then when they turned it ugly and started attacking the podcast and threatening us, I banned them. I'm sorry, I don't like to do that, but you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And so every podcast has had to do that because there's the idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they were probably from someplace like far west California or something, or way
Well,
east.
Colt is from California. There are good people there, but
I said way west. I mean, like right there on the coastline. Wild freight.
well, you don't know where Colt's from. He might he might
I,
be on the
look,
beach.
he might be, but Colt's an exception. Even though he called me fat. Uh,
Well, I don't think it was Colt. I think it was Sig.
you think it was Sig?
Yeah, I don't think it
It
was
may have been
Colt.
Sig. I don't know. One of them called me fat, and I want y'all to know I'm writing a book. Yeah, y'all better be ready for tonight. Mm.
They touched a nerve in you.
uh, uh. Yeah, that
By the
hurt my
way,
feelings. I ain't got but one feeling left, y'all, and he ain't in real good shape. And y'all go come up in there and jump on it like that. Y'all just wait.
do you need the cats to come in there and take your hat off and rub your head, pat you on the back with their
No,
paws?
they got
It's going
claws.
to
I'll
be
have
a
my head all scratched up doing that.
well. They'll keep them in. They'll love on you. I'll rub your head. It'll be okay. Pat you on the back. Bring you a treat. Bring you a cat treat and say it's going to be okay, master. It's going to be okay. We get called fat too sometimes as cats, and
They
we
just got
don't like it
fat heads.
either.
They just got fat heads. Mm. Well, we do have two fat ones. Yeah, so,
Two fat ones.
yeah,
But you have lost a lot of weight.
I have. I have.
You could show. There are pictures you could show that show how much weight you've lost.
Well, I got a
I've lost
picture
weight.
from my wedding, and yeah, you can really see
You,
it there.
you should pull that up. I mean, it shows how much you have lost. It
Yeah,
really does.
I'll have to bring that out. But yeah, back in the day when I worked up at that place in the mill, uh, I wasn't so fat. I kept going pretty good. Don't get me wrong, I still had a belly, but uh, I'm probably smaller now than I was then. What killed me with that was when I first started wrestling, I had to up my weight on their announcement thing. Michael, I'm the boss, not the cat. I don't care if they do bite me. I'm still the boss. I can, as long as I can open the door and pitch them out, that means I'm boss. I would never do that, but uh, if I can do that, that makes me boss. Uh, 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 but there was a point in time in my wrestling career where I had to lie about my weight so we could like hit this. Me and my tag team partner could hit this magical number where we would look like a bunch of Billy bad butts or whatever, and I didn't weigh that, and then I got to where I did, and then finally I'm big enough to do this, and then when I retired from wrestling, I didn't quit eating, and guess what? There's a lot of exercise in wrestling. I turned around, I had blimped out.
Yeah,
Son,
you said something there that I want to go back to, but you said that you had to lie.
yeah,
Isn't there a lot of that in wrestling? Lying? I'm
yeah.
just asking for a friend.
Okay, well, yeah, there is some. I mean, like, are they really going to know if you're adding 20 pounds onto your weight or 30 pounds to make yourself seem bigger? No. And it's an image that you're trying to, you look like you're that size, especially, it's like my boots, my wrestling boots that I wore. They had wrestling pads on the bottom. So I didn't hurt anybody when I went and drop kicked them or something. It didn't hurt them seriously. But what people don't realize was those things were about that thick. It made me taller. I mean, that much taller. So, which is what I needed to hit 6 foot.
You
So I
still have
literally,
those? You still have those
no,
boots?
no, I don't have those boots anymore. No,
You should have kept them like memorabilia, it'd be like the Kiss boots.
I do have my duster.
Have the duster.
I do have my duster still.
You should come out in the duster and do a show. That'd be cool with the cowboy hat on.
I don't
I
even know
love
if
it.
had anymore. I know I've got the duster. I've actually still wear the duster from time to time.
Without offense to anybody, and for those that know who he is, Robert, you really could be the true cat turd. You could come out with the duster on, the cowboy hat, with the cats. You've got the cats. You could say, it's like Mr. Wrestling wanted to. You could say, I am really cat turd. For those that don't know, he's big on X, you know.
Yeah. Michael, yeah, I've got to address what you said here. Number one, you don't think I could throw the cats out the door, and you're probably right. I would never do that. And your brother bit the cat back. I bet that was a hairy situation. I've had to get in the hot tub with garbage bag on some weight back then in high school.
Sweating
Look,
the oldies.
I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. No. That's too much sweating. I ain't doing that. No. Just the thought of that, sitting in that garbage bag and having that water pushing all around you and everything, that's just creepy and weird. I can't do that. I can't do that. Man, they always told me I was too short to go up any bigger than what I was at, just wrestling Indy and doing that kind of stuff. And I had a ball with it. Well, you're not tall enough. Well, and I think back about, what was it, Kevin Sullivan and all them guys, they was pretty short. He was probably 6 foot, but everybody around him made him look awfully short. In weightlifting competition too. What kind of weights did you lift? Did you lift like over in Ireland where they picked them rocks up for the strongest man in the world or woman in the world competition, where they pick them rocks up and they had to work it and get it all up there and sit up there on that post? I could see Michael doing that.
I kind of miss the 70s into the early 80s competitions they had where people were pushing buses and pulling them and carrying big heavy rocks and telephone poles and all that stuff. I kind of miss that. That was kind of fun.
That's how Mr. T got famous, wasn't it? Because he was a bouncer to start with. And then I think he got on one of those.
I don't remember.
But, that's where he started getting his claim to fame, I think. I wiped the floor in weightlifting in 2 weight classes. Okay. Was that like kindergarten and first grade? In 2 weight classes?
Wow.
300 pounds as a freshman. My gosh. Now let's clarify this here, Michael. How many years did it take you to become a freshman? Oh, Dave, you got to give me some props on that one.
What?
He said he was pressing 300 as a freshman, and I asked him how many years it took to be for him to be a freshman. He could have been 17, 18 years old. We don't know. Come on, Michael. Oh, yeah, I finally got him. I've been waiting for a while for that one.
Thank you to our new follower on our Facebook account. If you're watching or will see this, thank you so much. I don't know who joined, but thank you for the support.
We appreciate all that.
And all the followers on TikTok and X and just coming by the droves. Thank you so much.
And YouTube's picking up too.
YouTube has picked up, yes. By the way, I want to say we had a veteran, one of our honoring veterans. We had the views on that one, and it's a recent one. I think it was not the last one, maybe the one before it, or it might have been the last one. It is way more than anything else we had. I'm so appreciative of that because it's a veteran, someone killed in action, that they watched that, and I hope that they pray for that family because we always encourage the praying. Oh, by the way, real quick, the movie The Keeper, the studios, now you have to pay for your own way. But they're giving away 2 free tickets on a drawing. You have to say how many states did Jor, the character, cross coming from Maine to the end of the AT. and you put that, they're going to draw out all the correct winners. They'll draw somebody out. They get 2 free tickets to LA premiere of The Keeper. Go to their website, The Keeper. They're also up for a Grammy, Rob. The movie is up for a Grammy.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
George said, how cool would that be to see it win a Grammy?
That would be cool.
I know I have my problems with the Grammy people, but that's still a designation that means a lot to people. So
he was 14th in the 9th. He was 14 in the 9th day. And on the 9th day, he was 14.
I was born a country boy.
Okay.
I feel like John Denver's singing right now.
I was 14 in the 9th day. Thank you, I was born a country boy.
That's a bad John Denver impersonation there.
I wasn't necessarily trying to do John Denver because John Denver is so great you cannot reproduce it.
Well, I was fixing to say you sounded more country than I've ever heard you sound. I was trying to think of who you sounded like, but it sure wasn't John Denver.
Probably Scrubs.
No.
Ernest T. Bass does music.
Well, it kind of sounded a little bit like that.
It's me, it's Ernest T.
Well, Michael, you'd have to pay your own way to go to LA to watch the movie, but the red carpet premiere of The Keeper. But if you know, put in the drawing and win those tickets.
Yeah. Dave, I got to have 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right. 1 second. That's all you get. It's over. Oh, well, Michael, if you don't have to share the answer, but how many did you have? Did he sound like David Allan Coe? Really? Maybe. It sure wasn't John Denver, but he tried. Well, I hope everybody has a great Friday. We'll be back tonight with Front Porch Talking, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll get into something. Yeah, I know. I was just saying. We'll get into something, and we're got a couple things we want to announce. We're just trying to get set up before we do it. We're trying to work on some stuff, but hopefully we can do that. Maybe this weekend, maybe tonight. Not sure, but let's enjoy our Friday. Enjoy this great weather we're having. If you go to Friday Night Football, enjoy that. It's always this weather now is Friday Night Football weather. Got great college football games coming up for the weekend, some NFL games. Baseball playoffs continue for some. Others have made it. Let's keep praying for all the folks in the path of the storm.
Yes.
And pray for us. And I don't want to say a name, but to my precinct manager, who I think the world of, and his wife, he told me his wife has to go on dialysis in about 30 days or less. Our prayers are with you, brother. I don't know if you'll hear this, but I'm only saying that to ask you to help pray for his wife. That's tough.
I'm also going to throw out there my sister and her husband. They're marched safe from the hurricane. They were in Orlando when it went through, and glad that they're safe. Thank you for the prayers for them. I'm going to call her today, and they did post some footage online, some video.
Oh, wow.
The inside of the resort and the water coming underneath the doors and stuff because it was blowing so hard. So, yeah, we might be able to get some video from them. Now, this is on the Orlando side, so it's not as bad as the other side, but it's actual footage. So, is she trying to sneak in on you again?
She's photobombing me.
With the puppy dog.
Coco.
Yeah. Oh, it's Kaylee.
And Kaylee's behind the scenes. She didn't want to be on camera.
Oh, Kaylee's behind the scenes. I thought that was Kaylee going up to lick your ear there. She didn't hear me, did she? I'm leaning up and looking, trying to look around.
Did you hear her?
So I can see her.
Didn't hear. She didn't hear you.
Okay, good. I'm not
I
surviving.
thought that was Kaylee trying to lick my ear. You were Coco. You're a star, Coco. You're a star.
Yes, you are. Kaylee, I'm just playing.
She knows. She's laughing.
Okay. Okay.
Well, everybody have a great day. Watch out. She'll hit the mic.
Y'all do this, y'all do have a great day, and pray for everybody that needs to be prayed for. And we thank the Lord of y'all. We throw a big God bless you out to y'all as well. David Allen Coe. All right, we will see y'all tonight for Front Porch Talking Live.
Yes. On the front porch.
Yeah, anything goes on the front porch.
I'll have my K-cup coffee ready to go. Yeah.
Oh gosh, you nerd. You're a nerd. Okay, let me just go ahead and say that.
I ran out. I got to get some more, so I can only have one cup of coffee this morning.
Okay. Well, you know what? We don't have my thing set up. I got to go down here and find what I need to find here. I can't forget it anymore.
They've got you all messed up, calling you fat. You're all messed up now.
I know, right? You just wait till tonight. I got a book written for them. Y'all have a great day.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seats. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast.